and welcome back to Modalities Movement Therapy. I'm Brenda, and today we are going to be looking at deep core activation, bringing breathing into creating strength in the body and transforming your core. I know it's not always easy in our busy pace of life to find time to slow down and work mindfully on strength and breath work. However, in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to bring breathing and intentional movement together to help activate the deep core line that will assist with building a strong foundation for all fundamental movements, because you never know when you're going to need them. So with the use of a hard and a soft reflex ball and a circle resistance band, let's get started. I will leave the links to the equipment that we're using in the description below. You're going to take that hard reflex ball and bring it onto the big toe and roll along the inside of the foot, over the arch towards the heel. When we look at our deep core line, we're looking at a fascial line in the body that starts from the big toe and runs up the inside of the leg, incorporates the diaphragm and all those muscles and organs that are attached to the diaphragm, runs up and around into the neck. So bring the ball now into the arch of the foot. So while we're in this posture, standing posture, let's relax the shoulders and let's work on our breathing. Nice and slow and steady breath in and out through the nose. Bring the ball now onto the ball of the foot, and you're going to open up those toes as wide as you can and roll the ball from side to side. Now you're going to bring the ball onto the toes and try and pick the ball up with the toes. Most important thing is to just spread the toes out, so open up the feet, creating space that you can move into. If you can pick the ball up, pick it up and release it. And then we're going to work to wake up those nerves. So it's a quick proprioceptive movement, and then you should feel quite a bit of tingling under the foot. Let's bring the ball under the other foot, rolling from that big toe over the arch. A nice slow and steady movement. Try and get deeper rather than moving too quickly over the sole of the foot. And while you're doing this, a slow and steady breath in and out through the nose. Much easier to activate that diaphragm when we're breathing through the nose. Bring the ball into the arch of the foot, and it's a nice slow steady breath. We don't want to breathe too quickly. We want to breathe slowly and mindfully. Let's bring the ball under the ball of the foot and roll from side to side, spreading the toes out. And picking the ball up and releasing. Pick it up and releasing. And finishing off with that quick proprioceptive movement. Okay, and you can put that ball to the side. Let's just stand with the hands on the rib cage, relaxing the shoulders, and 2 breaths. You're breathing in for 4 counts and exhaling for 4 counts. So often we refer to breathing as belly breathing. I want you to think of relaxing your belly and working into your rib cage. So rather than a movement where you're going to push the belly button out, I want you to think of a movement where you are stretching those intercostal muscles between the rib cage. So it's more of a horizontal breath rather than a belly breath. Relax the shoulders, hands on the rib cage. Breathe in for 4 counts through your nose and exhale. Now on your exhalation, you're coming into a concentric contraction. Try and exhale for a little bit longer if you can. And you're feeling the rib cage dropping, coming closer together. Breathe in and exhale. Try exhale for a little bit longer. Good, and just shake the arms out. Now we're going to take that soft reflex ball, and I'm going to give you two options now. We're going to release the diaphragm so we can breathe more efficiently. If you find it too sensitive, you can choose the second option. So come into standing on the lengthways on your mat, breathe in, and as you exhale, chin to your chest, roll down and hang out there and bounce. Bounce from one side to the other side. Walk down onto the mat, onto your hands and knees. Before we get onto the colon, let's just bring the ball onto the hip flexor. So I'm just below the hip bone. The function of the hip flexor muscle is to bend the hip joint that allows you to raise your leg towards your body. This is a movement that's crucial for walking or running. It is connected to your psoas muscle, which is deep within the core. So that's your iliopsoas, connected to your psoas muscle deep within the core. We're going to give that a release with the reflex ball. So you're going to lie forward on your mat, position the ball under that hip flexor. Make sure you're below the hip bone, curl the toes under, and use the ball of the foot to maneuver you back and forward. Massage up and down. You can move from side to side, little circular movements. Roll the ball from side to side and work nice and deeply into this release. If you want to get a little bit deeper, cross that ankle over the other ankle and just use that foot to keep maneuvering you back and forward. Let's release it and repeat the same release to the other side. Cross that ankle over. If you want to take it a little bit deeper into the release and maneuver yourself forward and back. Move the ball from side to side. Get a little bit deeper into those releases. 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Push back onto the hands and knees. Lengthen out. Rest your forehead on the mat. And breathing nice and slowly. Like we did in standing, feel the rib cage expanding into the thighs. And exhale. Repeat it one more time, breathing in. And exhale. Moving on along the ascending colon, the transverse colon, and the descending colon. Another option is to lie in a supine position and massage the ball in circular motions around the colon. First, bring the ball inside your right hip bone. So we're going to start on the right side where the ascending colon starts. So I'm inside my right hip bone, bringing the ball under the hand so I can get a little bit deeper into the release. But if you find you're getting deep enough, just with the ball inside that hip bone, you can stay in this position. Bring your forehead onto your hands. You're breathing into the ball. Again, a slow, steady inhalation for about 4 counts. And try and exhale for a little bit longer. Hand under the ball as your second option. And increasing that depth, breathing in, lift the leg up and exhale. Massaging the colon can help release the diaphragm because of the physical and fascial connections to the abdominal organs, which include the colon. Tension and restrictions, such as scar tissue, perhaps from abdominal surgery or a Caesar, can limit diaphragmatic movement, which will affect breathing. Two more, breathing in. And one more. And exhale. If you have chosen the other option, then continue massaging the ball around the colon in a supine position. Here we're going to move the ball up inside the right rib cage. But make sure you're tucking it right underneath that rib cage, not on the rib cage. Don't use your hand, just bring it inside the rib cage and bring your both hands under your forehead. This is just lying in this position, and again you're going to breathe into the ball for 4 counts and exhale for 4 to 6 counts. Breathing in and exhale. Keep going. Let's do 3 more. Breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Your last one. And exhale. Moving the ball across to the inside of the left rib cage. So we're along the transverse colon now. Bring your hands back onto your forehead and breathe into the ball. And exhale. When we look at our breathing, our diaphragmatic breathing, continue going, you're breathing in and out. We're looking at our rest and digest breathing pattern. And if you want to explore that a little bit more, you can look at your parasympathetic nervous system. So it's taking you out of a flight and fight response or a sympathetic pattern and bringing you into a rest and digest. So that's stimulating your digestion and the organs around the diaphragm to work more efficiently. Finish off your last one. And if this is your option, taking that reflex ball and bringing it inside your left hip bone, resting your forehead on the right hand, you're going to breathe in and lift the leg if that's your option. Exhale and release. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. You're going to do another 3. And release the ball. From this position, we're now going to rotate onto our back and take that reflex ball, link your fingers and bring the ball into the palms of the hands and rest the ball on the occiput ridge at the base of the skull in line with your earlobe. So I'm right on the spine and I'm going to roll towards, or I'm going to roll the ball towards that right earlobe. You need to keep the hands resting on the mat and rest your head on the ball, so you're not taking any strain in the neck. And then the ball should be moving from the spine towards that mastoid process, that bony process behind the ear. Let's move the ball over to the left side of the spine now. So from the spine towards the left ear. And the hair does have a tendency to get in the way. So if you want to move, hold onto the hair, move it out the way, and then rest the ball in the other hand. You can give the head a little bit of support, but just make sure the head is resting on the ball and you're not putting any strain in the neck. You'll get a lot deeper into the release if you rest that head on the ball. And you're going to finish off there. You're going to bring the ball underneath the buttock, and I'm just rolling the ball from side to side. Move it around. We're going to activate these core muscles, so prepare them with a little bit of fascial release. Move the ball right onto the lateral side of the leg, onto the glutes. Bounce the knee if you have a trigger point that needs some attention. What you can do as well is cross the ankle over the knee and move around there. So you're getting a little bit deeper into that release. 4 more. And 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's do the same thing to the other side. So feet flat, knees bent, ball under the other buttock. You can open up that knee, move the ball right to the lateral side of the leg, cross the ankle if you want to, and move that ball around. Bounce. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Let's cross the right ankle over the left knee, and as we worked before, I want you to carry on from the arch of the foot. We're going to work along the inside of the leg. You're going to bring the ball onto the knee. You can use one hand or both hands, and you're going to massage the ball from side to side in circular motions along the inside of the leg, all the way right into the hip. So massaging up and down. Try focus on getting deeper rather than making the movement too quick. If you need to support the head in the other hand, then use that hand. You don't want the neck to take any strain. Keep going. Let's do another 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Again, same thing. Let's repeat it to the left side. You're going to roll that ball and move it around that inner thigh. Move it back up towards the knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come back to the first side, cross the ankle over the knee, like we did before, but you're going to bring the ball behind the knee now. Rest your head in your hands and breathing in, this foot is going to create resistance. And I don't want you to lift your lower back off the mat. Just work on a slow, steady inhalation. And as you exhale, push with the foot and then create some resistance there with that foot as you lift the other foot off the mat, and feel the activation in the abdominal muscle and the glutes. So we are activating those core muscles. Release the foot. Breathe in and exhale. Squeeze and resist. The more you resist, the more you're going to challenge your core muscles. Breathe in. As you breathe in, relax into the breath. Exhale and resist. Push down with that foot. Release. Any strain in the lower back, don't lift the foot off the mat. Just push with this foot and create resistance, activating the core muscles. Exhale and lift if you can. Release it on the exhalation. Release the foot on the exhalation. Breathe in and exhale. Finish off with one more. Breathing in, push and exhale. Take the ball out and switch legs. Cross that ankle over the knee. Head in the hands. Breathe in. Push into the mat with the lower back. Exhale. And lift that foot if you can. Resist with the other foot. Release the foot. Now breathe in. And exhale. And resist, 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 resist. Keep going. Breathing in. And exhale. Breathing in. And exhale. Your last one. And exhale. Release the ball. Lengthen out and have a nice big yawn. And stretch everything out. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock yourself to a seated position. And now you will need that circle resistance band. We're going to bring the band around the big toes. This is a great activation for the arches of the feet. So in a seated position with the legs extended, you can either hold onto your hips or you can bring your hands behind your back, supporting you a little bit more, giving you that nice lifted posture. So you want to be right on the sit bones. You don't want to be in this rounded slouched position. Sit up nice and tall. Move the sit bone, well, move yourself onto your sit bones if you need to. And now using that band, keeping the resistance in the band, you're going to rotate the toes out. You should start to feel this working into the glutes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep going. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're now going to bring the band around the feet. Lie in a supine position again and extend the feet up to the ceiling. Make sure your head is supported in your hands. If you are taking any strain in the neck, you can keep your head down. In this position, you're breathing in. On your exhalation, if you choose to come into a chest lift, make sure the head is resting in the hands. We're going to straighten the right leg and bend the left knee. Resisting against the band, you're going to pulse for 8, 7. This is your exhalation. 6, 5, 4. Maybe leave it there for now. Bring the feet up. Breathe in. 4 counts inhalation. Exhale, and I want you to try and exhale for a little bit longer. If you can exhale for 6 to 8 counts, that's awesome. If you need to just focus on breathing out for 4 counts until you can progress a little bit further, then do so. So breathe in if you haven't already. Bend the left and extend the right and pulse. 8, 7. Keep breathing out. 3, 2, and 1. Feet up. Breathing in and exhale. Keep exhaling. Keep exhaling. Keep that knee straight and lift up. And exhale. Take it as far as you can. Finish off with one more. Hug the knees into the chest and position the band above the knees. We're now going to activate a little bit deeper into those gluteus muscles. So just lying here in this position, resisting against the band, so push the knees apart. Support the head in the hands if you need to, if you're taking strain in the neck, or if your head is in this position, support the head. Breathe in and exhale. If you can, bring your hands back onto your rib cage like we did earlier and breathe in for 4 counts. Feel the expansion around the rib cage and then exhale. Breathing in and exhaling. Just exhale as long as you can, and you'll always progress to a little bit of a longer exhalation where you can really feel that concentric contraction as you exhale, activating those core muscles. Let's do one more in this position. Take your time. Exhale, 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 exhale. We're now going to bring some movement into the spine. So let's breathe in. As we breathe in, we're coming into an arch position. As you exhale, pushing that lower back down into the mat, you're tilting and tucking the pelvis under. So you're bringing the hip bones closer to the rib cage. So think of this as a way to assist exhaling a little bit longer. Lower back onto the mat, you're breathing in again. So as I start to move my spine a little bit more, you'll notice my chin is dropping down as I inhale and the rib cage expands. As I exhale, your chin should be lifting up, getting the movement from the spine. So squeeze the glutes and now tilt as much as you can. This is still on your exhalation. Let's do 2 more. Breathing in. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Feel the rib cage dropping, hip bones to the rib cage as you exhale. 1 more. Breathing in. Opening up, opening up, opening up, creating space. Let's breathe into the space we're creating. Now exhale. And keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Now from this tuck position, your glutes are activated. You're going to thrust the pelvis up to the ceiling. As you do that, breathe in. Again, you're opening up, you're creating space. Let's breathe into the space you're creating, and you should hopefully feel the breath as you move that diaphragm down. When the lungs expand, you should feel that breath all the way down, pushing the diaphragm. And exhale. Yeah, we're rolling down 1 vertebra onto the mat at a time. And breathing in from the top, you're starting that arch, resisting against the band. Keep exhaling, tilting and tucking. And lower down, exhaling. 1 vertebra at a time onto the mat. Breathing in. And exhaling. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Squeeze. Resist against the band. Squeeze the glutes. Bring the hip bones up. Breathing in. And we're going to hold it in this lifted position. Breathe out. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Feel the activation. Breathing in. Feel the movement of the breath. Pushing down. Exhale. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling. Feel the contraction. You're going to do another 4. Breathing in. And exhale. Hopefully your glutes are really feeling it. We've got 2 more to go. And the last one, breathing in. Now as you exhale, you're going to slowly roll the vertebra down onto the mat. And you can hug your knees into your chest. Once you've released the band from above the knees, bring the band around the wrists and extend your arms next to your ears. In a neutral position with the spine, so we're not pushing the lower back into the mat, just let it come into a natural position. You're going to breathe in, and as you exhale, circle the band around, the arms around. You're pushing the lower back down into the mat now, and you're going to breathe in and bring the arms back next to the ears. You're going to keep going in that direction, exhaling, reaching to the knees and breathing in. Exhaling. So we're bringing a bit of spiral movement into the workout. Exhale and breathe in. Repeat it one more time, exhaling and breathe in. Let's reverse the circle, exhaling and breathe in. Keep going. I'm a bit limited for space. Hopefully you have more space to open up and extend into that rotation. Finish off with one more. And breathe in. Lengthen the arms next to the ears. Have a nice big stretch again. Yawn. And tuck the chin to the chest. Roll up through the spine and just bounce. Put the band to the side. Rotate onto your hands and knees. And now we're going to bring that reflex ball back between the inner thighs. So you can position it between the knees. If you want to bring it a little bit closer to the pelvis or the pubic bone, you can do that. You should feel, the closer it is to the pubic bone, the more you're going to feel maybe a little bit of more of the nerves, more of a neural sensation. So hands are underneath the shoulders. Try not to curl your toes under. If you are cramping, try focus on relaxing the neck a little bit more. So you're going to try and keep the feet in this position. Inhale as you arch the back. So start each movement from the tailbone. As you exhale, squeeze the ball, tuck from the tailbone, and the head will follow. And here we're going to lift the knees again if this is your option. Otherwise you can keep the knees on the mat. Any strain in the wrists, you can drop down onto the elbows. It will limit your range of movement, but you'll still get a nice deep activation of the core. Breathe out as you bounce the knees. And again, try and exhale for as long as you can, starting off with 4 counts and increasing it. Exhale and pulse. Let's put the ball to the side and working into some lunges. Hands are still on the mat underneath the shoulders. We're going to open up the knees slightly wider apart, breathing into your arch. As you exhale, tuck from the tailbone, release the hands, uncurl through the spine. As you uncurl through the spine, circle the arms up next to the ears. Balance on your right knee and step your left foot forward. You're now going to curl your right toes under and we're going to pulse for 3, 2, and 1. Drop down onto your knee, uncurl your toes. Keep looking ahead so it's much easier to engage your glute muscles and your core muscles if you're looking up. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can look down. Bring the knee back onto the mat. Let's lift up. So we're going to bring the right knee up, balancing, step that foot forward, curl the left toes under, arms next to the ears, and bounce for 3, 2, and 1. Release back onto the mat, uncurl the toes, and balancing, bring that knee next to the other one. Let's keep going. Lifting that left knee, curl the toes, bounce, 2, 3, and 4, and release. Use the hands if you need to, and bring that knee back. Repeat it 2 more times. Curl the toes under and bounce. Just let your breathing happen naturally, and release. Step that foot forward for the last one and bounce. 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to keep that leg up and you're going to straighten the knee. We're going to bounce into that lunge position, but the leg is straight. So pulse for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Challenging you now, you're going to bend that back knee, come back into your lunge position, and bring the arms next to the ears. Squeeze the glutes and release. Straighten the leg again. You're going to step back into pyramid or down dog. Walk through your feet. And now you're going to step the other foot forward. So you can bend the back knee if you need to. Bring your hands inside that foot. Straighten the leg and let's bounce for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your back knee. You might want to bring that front foot slightly back and bring the arms back next to the ears. And you can add a bounce for 2, 3, 4. Release the hands. Step that foot back, pyramid or down dog position. Walk through the feet. Take the other foot forward. Straighten that leg and bounce into this lunge position. Bend the knee. Keep the hands on the mat if you need to. Otherwise, bring the arms next to the ears and bounce for 2, 3, 4. Release the hands. Step back. Walk through the feet. Let's repeat this 2 more times. Other foot comes forward. Bounce into that lunge. Knee bends, arms next to the ears, and bounce. Release it. For the last one, walk through the feet. Foot forward, bounce. Bend into it, arms next to the ears, and exhale. Walk through the feet again. Try bring the feet towards the hand and straighten those knees as much as you can. Breathe yourself into that lifted position. Circle the shoulders up and back. Swing the arms around the body. Breathe in. Palms together. Exhale. Hopefully you will find that you have challenged yourself with that breathing. Well done, and thank you for joining me.